So it's Halloween. Today is October 31st, 2025. I slept all day. I was completely wiped out. Had pulled some very late nights at work over the last couple of days. Um, the painting is crooked on purpose. There's a reason for that. No, I'm not insane. I do that deliberately, very specifically, actually. For reasons that I'm not going to discuss on this video, I keep my painting at an angle for a very specific logistical and logical reason. But back to Halloween. Got back from work yesterday afternoon, was wiped out, but still managed to get some other work-related stuff done when I was at home. And there was a ridiculously intense rainstorm throughout the night and into the early morning. Lots of very strong winds that were shaking the building and pounding rain. And it was very spooky. And then I wake up like 12 hours later and it's still spooky, which is good. This is what you want on Halloween. I don't like the horror movie aspect of Halloween. I like the deliciously spooky, slightly macabre kind of aspect of Halloween, but nothing horrific, violent, or deadly. It's a fun holiday if you take it lightly, pun intended. Because I've been so busy and I tend to not be able to easily leave this building when I need to, and as I need to, due to the large numbers of aggressive, violent, and disturbed sex offender trash that likes to congregate on the sidewalks and corners around the entranceways and doorways and egress passages to this building, I can't easily leave the building as I need to and when I need to, unless I want to call an Uber and jump straight into the Uber from the front door. So I didn't have much of a chance to get some Halloween decorations this year, but this is one of the items I did manage to grab when I was at a store recently, and it is absolutely delightful. This is the cutest little pumpkin, and the spooky face is perfect. I actually tried to give it to one of my clients, and he said that he'd rather have the unpainted one so that he could take it home and paint it himself, which I thought was terrific. Good idea on that one. I think we're having a full moon tonight. Do you see the moon right there? Or maybe not, because the camera on this phone is not the greatest. Oh yeah, see, you can kind of see the moon. Let me turn the light off here. So there's the moon right there. See the moon? Now I lost it again. It's also a cloudy night, so you probably can't see the moon that easily, but there it is. See, there's the moon, and it's not a reflection in my window. It is actually the satellite to the earth right there. Pretty cool. On Halloween, I think we're having a full moon, which is just so awesome. I really wish I could run out there and check out the trick-or-treaters. I just woke up. I'm in my shorts. I'm not going to run around checking out all the decorations and everything in the neighborhood in my shorts, and I really don't feel like changing. So, when you're in your early 50s, Halloween's a little bit different. I used to go trick-or-treating with the kids in my family or with friends. Then my friends and I would go to Halloween parties or whatever club or social group was having a celebration. We would go, obviously. If you don't have kids, you have much more time to go out and have fun with your friends, which I think was the whole point of not having kids. My friends and I really never had the need to have kids. We just didn't really feel like it in our 30s. And then when our 40s came around, we're like, yeah, we still don't really feel like having kids, and busy with this and busy with that. And it's just not a priority, right? So, I mean, if you don't want kids, then you don't want kids. You're not supposed to apologize for that. That's your decision. But back to the moon. There it is. I love it. So this is my fun Halloween. My nieces and nephews are now 12, 13, 14 years old. And Halloween is no longer like a dress up kind of situation when you've got teenage nieces and nephews. They don't wear cute little costumes anymore. They kind of ignore the holiday, I think. So this is my Halloween, and I love Halloween, regardless of age, regardless of social status, weather, etc. Even if there's no full moon, I still love Halloween. It is just an awesome holiday. Yeah, so there's the moon. You can see it much more easily now. This is fantastic. And it's finally quiet out on the street. They got rid of the low-life trash bags who've been standing out there all afternoon, blasting music, screaming and shouting, and acting like a bunch of filthy animals, because that's what they are. They can't leave people alone, and they harass the whole neighborhood because they're angry about something or they want attention or whatever. but they're gone, so that's nice. This is also kind of spooky. I have to leave the burner on my stove going because there's still no heat in this building, even though it's 46 degrees right now out in Boston, or maybe 49. You know, what's the difference, right? So this is kind of dangerous, but that's the only source of heat that I have. And I have sent several written notices to the Greenville group over the last few weeks telling them there's no heat in this unit, and they've ignored it. So hence the fire hazard right here that you see before you. But it is like kind of a little fireplace right now. And because tonight is Halloween, I'm going to treat this like my fireplace. Makes sense, right? So there's the moon. Even with the bad camera on this phone, you can see the moon tonight, which is awesome. Yay, Halloween. I don't know if that house is going to get any trick-or-treaters. I mean, are there even any trick-or-treaters in this neighborhood aside from the sex offender psychos who like to stand out on the street corners screaming and shouting for hours every day? Right there on that stretch of sidewalk, right in front of that doorway that you see there. I mean, they're the monsters around here. They're the spooky, scary trash bags that you want to avoid. The term psycho is short for the word psychopath, which is a clinical term for severely disturbed, homicidal, or rapist maniacs who can't leave other people alone and follow them around. That is the premise of most horror movies that have been made since the 60s. The movie Psycho would be one of those movies. And it kind of applies to the low-life trash that the Greenville group houses in large numbers in this building complex across the street at 191 Green Street in Jamaica Plain, Boston, Mass. It is a holding pen for psychos. And by psycho, I mean psychopath, the clinical term that was pretty popular when the movie Psycho was made and continues to apply to the sex offender, trash, violent, homicidal, lowlifes, aggressive, stalking rejects that the Greenville group chooses to house in that building across the street in large numbers, and in lesser numbers, apparently, in this building. There's one directly below me who keeps making violent slamming and banging noises whenever I try to do anything that is routine but personal or private, such as using the bathroom, taking a shower, lying on my bed to try to sleep, scratching my armpit, picking my wedgie, that kind of thing. The psycho directly below 76 becomes violent and aggressive deliberately. Boo-hoo, Halloween. Are the lowlifes back out on the street corner again shouting? I mean, really? They have nothing else to do? That's embarrassing. So cool. Now that looks like a Halloween movie that I would watch. This scene right here, that's perfect. Okay, the psychos are quiet again. Told you there was a full moon tonight. So after I make my dinner, which is going to be a delicious one, I am going to continue my movie watching streak that I started yesterday evening after I had pulled a near 2-night long all-nighter working on stuff for my employer. There's something really satisfying about working really, really hard and long and then getting to relax afterwards and watch. Yeah. Halloween, just such an awesome night. This is perfect. So perfect. I can't even describe it.